And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Money Line. We're back at it. Mr. Matthew Vaders, what's up?
Just excited to be here, James. Lots to talk about today, so I'm super excited.
Super stoked, man. There's so much to talk about. We've just over a week, I guess. We kind of took a
Yeah,
little
just
longer than
yeah,
normal,
just
but
over.
yeah. But we're good to go here and excited to chat some sports. We got some, trade deadline day in the NBA. We got some Jay's injuries, a lot of them. We got some exciting Leaf stuff. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about, man.
And we
Where do
we
you
just
want to
got
start?
we just got to remind people too that James and I do not create an agenda. We just get on here. Everyone knows what's happening in the sporting world. We don't take the time to prepare an agenda, text each other, email,
Yeah,
nothing. We just get on here. We chat sports, what we love doing best.
yeah, baby.
Um, I think we got to start with the NBA for this one. As you know, it was a busy day in the NBA. It's always exciting, the trade deadline. A couple small things too I'll throw out there that aren't Raptor related. But let's talk
Sure.
with the biggest non-trade of the day. Kyle Lowry staying in Toronto. What did you think of that?
I'm not gonna lie, I love it because Lowry's he's our boy. It's nice to see them keep him, and hopefully, to be honest, if you're gonna keep him right now, then let's sign him. Let's let him finish his career here. I know we were kind of talking about it last time, and it only made sense really to trade him, but dude can still play. He wants to be here. He wants to retire here. So let's give him a few more years. Let's let him finish off his career.
I would love to see that. I think they were quite upfront with him and said, "Listen, if we get like a package that just blows us away, we're going to take it and grant you your wish." I'm sure he provided a list of teams that he was willing to go to. And from what I hear, I believe it came down to near the end, wasn't it? Miami and possibly the Lakers. I heard were making
And and
pushes.
and Philly, I heard was back in the mix too. The three of them, but
Yeah, I had heard that they and the Clippers were in at some point as well, but they had backed out fairly early in the day. But I heard, I really thought as we were getting closer to 3 o'clock today that we would have seen Lowry get traded.
I
Um,
thought so.
and you know what? I think it's one of those trades. Like I said, if they make it, great. If not, let's try and re-sign him in the offseason.
Yeah,
He has said he will retire Raptor. He is got a statue made for him already.
yeah.
Let's be honest, this
They
guy's he
Jersey's
leaves
getting
a card on him.
retired.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure number 7 will never be worn again by a Raptor, unless Andrea Bargnani comes back, maybe perhaps.
uh, nice, good one.
But
But yeah,
no, yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those trades that you're okay with it either way. I think they were pretty
yeah,
good with him. Said, listen, if we can make this happen, we will. And maybe he would have signed back in the offseason. Who knows? I love when people do that, get traded and then
maybe
come
too.
back and sign with the team. But you know what? Let's play out the season, see how that goes. We're a struggling team right now, though.
Very,
They,
very tough. Big win though last night.
yeah, well, broke that losing streak.
That
Yeah,
was
they didn't
gross.
look. They haven't been looking good at all during that losing streak. But let's talk about some of the deals that they did make.
Yeah,
Three deals
was that
in
many?
total. Yeah, so they shipped off Matt Thomas for a second rounder.
All right.
I like Matt Thomas on the Raptors, to be quite honest. Shooter
Yeah,
just comes into the game just looking to check. Terrence Davis off to Sacramento for another second rounder. And, well,
I like
obviously,
Davis too.
biggest trade being Powell.
Yeah, yeah, that was a big one.
And you know what? I gotta throw it. I don't know if you've seen this stat, James, but it's super crazy. Getting Gary Trent and Rodney Hood.
Hmm.
So as we know, Gary Trent Sr. played for the Raptors. Okay, he got traded the 41st game into his third NBA season by Portland to Toronto. Gary Trent Jr. was traded in his third season after his 41st game to the Toronto Raptors by Portland. Craziest stat I've seen out there.
What?
You'll
I
never
did not
see
know that.
you'll never see that again. A father son traded like same time of season, like third season, after the 41st game. I saw that. I had to mention it. So, yeah, what a crazy stat. And you know what
Wow.
I like this trade. Powell, great guy, great. He was always good on the court, great in the community, always sticking around to sign autographs. Talk to kids. Wish him nothing but luck, except for when he plays the Raptors. But I'm excited for Gary Trent, and obviously this was a deal that they had made earlier on in the day. And I
Mhm.
was originally thinking Lowry's going to go. It would have been nice to see Trent play beside Van Fleet, but this guy was solid last year when NBA resumed in the bubble, and I believe, and don't quote me on this, I want to say it was Trevor Ariza that didn't report to the Blazers, and it allowed Trent to see more time on the court, and he really prevailed. This guy is a shooter. I know Toronto fans are going to love him, but it's exciting, and Rodney Hood, this guy's gotten tossed around in many deals over the last few years, and he's getting dragged by that dreaded P word, potential. I've seen this guy in fantasy, he was always a great streamer, to pick him up, but he just, injury plagued, so there is that potential for him. So the Raptors, let's see how he pans out. Maybe we ship him off, maybe we don't, but I'm super, super excited about this deal all around. And I'm going on here, not letting you chat. So
Oh no, it's all good. No, you're giving much more than I could. Yeah, not bad deals. Both of them, I think, still have a couple years left in their contracts too, so they should be around. They're around for at least a couple of years. Um, yeah, it didn't look bad. I mean, I like Norman Powell. He's having a hell of a season, and he should
and,
be pretty good over in
and
Portland.
Powell's going to be in for a big payday. He's going to be upwards
Yeah,
to probably about 20 mil. You might even see close to like a Van Fleet contract, where it's like 4 years, 85 million. The guy's, kind of surprised us this year a little bit, taking that extra step.
hmm
So you know what? Good for him. I hope things work out in Portland. He has some, pretty good talent over there to play with as well. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
It's
super
a decent
exciting for
deal.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, great deal, and shake it up a little bit. Like you said, it is kind of. I'm happy to see Lowry stick around. And again, if you're not going to trade him, I think that the intention would be that they're going to sign him. So it'd be kind of cool to see him stick around and have that heart and that leadership sticking. That's your captain, right? Like that's the guy that you want to have that veteran presence, and they don't have it otherwise, really. So it'd be nice to see him stick around, even if he's going to be a
Oh,
bench guy. But
absolutely, and fans love him, right? So,
no, with no
um,
with good reason.
and you know what? I
Yes.
think I really was. I was hearing that they were looking at Miami and getting Robinson and Hero, however you say it.
Wow.
Um, but Miami wasn't budging with both. They were only offering Robinson and obviously some other, pieces. But that if they were able to pull both those off, I think it was a no-brainer. I
For
even
sure.
I even said in one of my group chats today, I would have supplied the pen to sign the dotted line for that deal because that, as much as we love Lowry, that would have been huge to get back those two pieces for sure. So,
Big
um,
time.
you know, and I'm just excited. I love trade deadlines and all the rumors, and checking out the
That's
different
great.
sites and stuff. I really do love it. So,
So speaking of the Heat, though, they did make some moves and a couple big ones.
yeah,
Oladipo went over.
yeah, that'd be nice to see Oladipo play over there. Obviously Heat are gearing up for a, a deep run. They got Butler, they got Adebayo, so that team could be
Hero
interesting.
is good too.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. They have a lot of little pieces, so they could make a deep run and give Brooklyn a little run for sure. So
Yeah,
that
it'll be interesting. Orlando made some pretty wild moves, eh? A couple big ones there.
I was really surprised earlier on the day to see Vooch go over to Chicago.
Yeah,
It'd
me
be nice
too.
Vooch and Zach LaVine play together, but yeah, that deal kind of threw me off a little bit. But that's what the NBA is all about.
Yeah,
It's not one of the sports that I'm the closest with and know the most, but it's really I love the trade deadlines, especially for the NBA because it's deals like that surprise me for sure. So
Nice. Yeah, it was a good. Trade deadlines are fun, man. It was a pretty interesting day, and yeah, it was cool to see a couple moves with the Raptors, and again at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy to see Lowry sticking around.
yeah, I think so too. And I know we talked about it. I believe
You said
last
the
time we,
opposite last time, but
yeah, but you know what? I think if I recall, and my memory's going as I age here, but I think we said, you have to trade him, but it's almost hard to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he stuck around. So
yeah,
flip a coin, and I'm happy to see him. I got to say though, after watching him after the game and watching the highlights, and it really felt like it was his last game. I think he thought it was as well.
yeah.
But and it's his 35th birthday today. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy too. I saw that. Yeah.
well, that would have been crazy to pack your bags on your 35th birthday and head somewhere, but he's
Well,
happy to
I
be
think
there.
he got his. It's probably his birthday wish. He said he wanted to stay here, so hopefully, he's here. Let's sign him. Let's keep him around. Let him retire here.
So a little bit of other basketball news without, moving on. The James Harden deal that happened earlier this year that included Oladipo.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that what the final deal ends up being? They end up getting, because obviously Brooklyn sent over some first rounders and stuff. Ends up being 9 first rounders for Harden, as well as a few players, Avery Bradley, Dante Exum, and someone else. But 9 first rounders is what it ends up being, which is crazy. And I hope they can turn that talent into something, because, let's be
That's
honest,
nuts.
Houston is. I know they beat
They're
the Raptors,
bad.
but that's not some good ball to watch. But
9 first rounders.
yeah, and another thing I'm going to throw out here is Oklahoma. Over the next 7 years, they have 34 draft picks. No, I didn't make a mistake there. They have 34 draft picks. So on average, that is 5 a year. Keep in mind, NBA only has 2 rounds.
Yeah,
so
that's nuts.
34 draft picks. So, the stuff you could do with that. So let's hope
A lot of options.
even 3-4 years, these guys are starting to pan out, and some of the deals you can make then. So
they got a nice young nucleus now, so be very interesting to see what they do. I just read something to completely jump ship, and not even something I even put on the radar of what we're going to talk about. Mike Zibanejad. He had another 6-point game tonight.
So I can talk about him because you know what, this guy. I missed one of my fantasy drafts this year, and I ended up with Zibanejad, but it was in one of those leagues where Zibanejad was ranked huge. Well, when I say huge, fairly high. He, shorthanded points, power play points. He fills a lot of categories. This guy was struggling all year, and but you got to stick with him. I wasn't going to drop him or put him on the waiver wire. He had 6 points. I believe it was 8 days ago, 3 goals and 3 assists, and he pulled it off again tonight. I think in his last 4 games, it's a total of 15 points. 15 points in 4 games. I'm pretty sure, because he had a goal and assist one game and then just an assist. So Mike Zibanejad, guys, is on fire. And I'm happy to see it, because one of my teams.
Nice. And he tied, I'm assuming it was a Gretzky record, because it was 6 points in the period, I'm pretty sure, the other night.
No way. See, I didn't know that, that is awesome. So that's really cool.
I'm pretty certain. Don't check on it, but I'm almost positive that was the deal, that he got 6 points in a period. And on a hockey note, let's talk about those Leafs that pulled off the dub tonight.
Was it ever? It was a grind. We talked about last time about these teams that just play the Leafs tough, and Ottawa, they had to go to overtime, and Justin Hall with the game winner with I believe it was just under 20 seconds or 15 seconds left in overtime.
18 seconds. Yeah.
Wow. These are the games where they have to take the points, but
yeah, you need both.
It was a grind Campbell gave up a couple bad goals playing the puck tonight, but you know what? He's now undefeated still, 5-0.
5-0, man. 5-0. And we talked about this like the first weeks ago. I don't know what you do when Anderson comes back, man, because like how do you not ride a guy that's his save percentage is like 940? Like it's ridiculous.
You know what? I wish I could pull up some film here and stuff. But you know what? This team it's not like any other shutout. Like, Freddie Anderson gets a shutout. This team is coming. You know what Campbell's been through. All of his injuries. And, when you got a shutout there a little while back, that whole team's coming over and congratulating them. It's not just an ordinary shutout. So, you know what? I'm super happy to see this. Leafs are in a tough position. Like, Anderson's still a great goalie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, this could be Campbell's time to shine. Anderson's out for another week to 10 days. You know what? Can you imagine Campbell runs the slate over the next 3-4 games and he's 7-0? How do you not start him?
Exactly.
So it's going to be interesting. Definitely for sure. So yeah. But hey, little I know we're talking hockey here, but so now I saw that the government has approved for if there's a trade with a player in the US, they don't have to do a 14-day quarantine anymore. It's just a 7-day quarantine, obviously with multiple tests, but a true quarantine, like, they can't practice with the team and stuff. So that opens the doors a little bit. I really thought with the Leafs schedule over the last, 10 days that we would have seen them make a deal. And I really think they're trying to get creative now. I'm hearing now that they're trying to involve other teams, because they're tight against the cap, right? So
yeah, they're right against it. There's not much room.
The one question I have for you, in every player that's rumored out there to come to the Leafs, I've read many different articles, but what's the one player that stands out to you that it was like, yeah, that's who they need, kind of thing? So.
And I just saw it today because a lot of the rumors, a lot of the people that are talking about, I don't think they really better the team very much. You know what I mean? Like looking at their roster today and the other night, I'm like, it's solid. I don't know really where you're lacking, but the name that I saw thrown out there today or yesterday was Foligno.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Foligno. I think that he'd be a good fit. Like a third line in there, like kind of, grind. He's got the, he's like that. He's not that guy that would be helpful in the playoffs. You got Simmons, you got Thornton, you got some of these guys that kind of Hyman, some of these guys that are gritty and grindy. But like Foligno can kind of play it all. He's like you're saying, like it's a Bandit, maybe not doesn't put up the points, but put him on the PK. You could put him on the power play, give him some minutes. He's the captain of Columbus, he's got that leadership, which they got enough on the Leafs already, but yeah, so I think he'd be a good fit.
There were some rumor trades I'd heard involving Columbus, and Foligno and Boone Jenner were part of them.
Boone Jenner I'd like Boone Jenner.
They would have to get creative for that to happen, for sure. But one guy in Columbus that I don't mind, and I've heard that there's some rumors, we don't know how true these are, is Dennis Savard on defense. This is a good, if we could somehow get two of those three, involving Savard, it's going to be interesting. I think almost any deal we do is going to involve Kerfoot.
Sounds like it.
And we tried that deal with Colorado. Do I think we wish we had our time back? Of course. But it was a deal we had to make in the time. I just don't think we used Barry the way we should have.
No. It's too bad because we're both Barry fans, right? Like he's a solid defenseman. He it's just too bad. Yeah, because he should have been the guy. Like he could have really been a huge part of that team, and just it's too bad that it didn't pan out.
Yeah, and another guy I'm hearing, another team that seems to be involved in a lot of trade rumors with the Leafs is Granlund, or sorry, I should say Nashville, Granlund, and I'm hearing Matthias Ekholm. So between Ekholm and Dennis Savard, those are the guys that stand out to me. I heard another rumor today, I don't know how true it was, about Marleau coming back.
Wow.
everyone knows Marlowe's a great guy. Gets along with. It's like best
The
friends.
young boys.
Yeah, with Marner and Matthews, but we can't have another Marlowe. Maybe Marlowe.
There's no room.
Yeah, there's no room. You're right.
It just doesn't make sense. I would love
You
to
know,
see that 3M innovation line though, with
yeah,
Marner, Marlowe, and
Matthews.
Matthews. That'd be fun.
That would be pretty cool, but that's not going to happen.
I
But
don't see it.
Matthias Ekholm and Dennis Savard, for sure, are the two names that stand the most out to me.
You know who's one that I haven't heard of in about a year or so, but would maybe I think would still be a pretty solid fit would be PK Subban.
Yeah, but his
But I don't know
contract.
how you ever. Yeah, I don't know how you ever pull that off. They'd have to eat so much money; it just doesn't make sense.
Absolutely right. So his contract is massive, and to figure that all that out, so
Be a lot
it
of
would
work.
be pretty tough for sure.
Yeah, like we'll see what Dubas can do here because yeah, he's got to get super creative, and it's going to be a lot of a lot of math, a lot of number crunching, and a lot of playing around with things to pull it off. Because again, you got the money tied up in a few guys, and those guys are not going anywhere. Like it doesn't make any sense to trade. Like Nylander or Tavares or any of those guys, like unless it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why you would even entertain it, but everybody's talking Nylander for days about Josh commenting on the Marlowe thing. Josh Mayu. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting, but yeah, like the Nylander takes a lot of abuse from the fans and a lot of people on dishing him out and the money and whatnot. But I don't know, dude. Like that guy's still a sniper. We've seen him step up when need be, and it's nice to have that secondary scoring. Like that second line is a top scoring line on most teams.
Right. You're right, and I like Nylander though. I think his salary's, gets a lot of flack for what his salary is, but I really think that guy, if we have an injury, he could step up and be that top guy as well. So hopefully we get to see it for sure. I did just do I got a little quiet there. I did check. Zibanejad did tie the record for the most points in an NHL period this year. So he was pretty close again tonight because that second period, I'm pretty sure. No, it wasn't that close. I think he only had 3 points. Never mind. But
only just 3.
Yeah, in a period. But yeah, 6 points. So
2 6-point games though. That's pretty wild. It'd be interesting to look at that. Would you say 15 points in 4 games? To take a look, he might be. Some of those Gretzky records might be getting touched here, which is nuts. Who would have thought Zibanejad would be like putting up those kind of numbers?
I'm pretty sure he had like a big game too last year, if I recall. So, yeah, he definitely did because I remember someone had him and just dominated me in a pool for sure.
Nice. Okay, well, let's get into those Jays injuries. Hold on a sec, Mr. Mayu. Can you see the comments on there, Matt?
No, I can't. So.
Okay. So Josh. Oh, I think there's a way that I can. Here we go. Check it out. Boom.
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay, I just put it up on the screen there. There you go, Josh. Welcome to the show. The only other player to do that against the same team, Wayne Gretzky.
Wow.
Interesting stat. Thanks, Josh. Via TSN. There you go. Thanks.
Josh giving out the references for sure. So
yeah, keep them up, bud. That's awesome. Let's jump ship because we only have so much time. I mean, we have all night really, but we want to keep people entertained. Let's get to those Jays now that it's official and Mr. Kirby Yates has officially had Tommy John surgery successfully. Congratulations, but we won't see him likely in a Jays uniform ever. It's too bad. I was looking forward to that. I'm reading a lot of slack, a lot of flack that people are throwing out. Like what a waste of money and this and that. But you know what, man? I still take, even with the outcome, I still take that deal 9 out of 10 times.
Well,
It looked
the interesting part about Kirby Yates was, there was some concern during his physical that
big
was
time.
by both the Braves and the Jays organization. I believe his contract was restructured, and if I
Yeah,
recall, it was originally a 1 year, 9 million, and they ended up settling on 5.5. I could be totally wrong about those numbers,
incentiveless. No, you're right. You're right.
but
Atlanta. He was linked to Atlanta for 9 million, and they jumped ship with the injury concerns. And Toronto jumped in with a 5 and incentive laced, because I think Atlanta was sitting at like 1.5 incentive laced or something like that.
But you know what? This, and people got to realize, like, this was a low risk, high reward situation.
Big time.
1 year with the money that they were offering. I think a lot of fans got down just because there was a lot of news over that 24-hour span that just kind of, here we go again, or no, we got deflated. And you know what? Romano stepped up in this role last year.
Yeah,
he,
dude's
he
sick.
he's been handed the ball. He's been told it's his job to lose to start the year. But the majors are different now. Like, it could be all matchup based,
Completely.
and even if Romano's good to go, we might see Dallas go out there, or EJ Cole, or
Yeah.
someone, right? It's just different nowadays in the majors. But our closer will be Romano. And, I've loved seeing his stuff. He was great last year. Great.
He's got some nice stuff. Like he can throw the ball hard. It's got a lot of movement. That sinker's dirty. And yeah, he looked great last year, and it's exciting. Young guy, great arm, and hopefully we get to see this kid be dominant. But like you said, I think this is a very matchup based. You don't really have. I mean, you do, but it's very less common, or a lot more common to see these like closer by committee and stuff like that. So we'll see. I think the Jays are set with that. They got a really good bullpen.
And, I don't even know what the preseason rankings have in regards to where our bullpen ranks. This is going to be an interesting team. You need to have depth in the majors due to injuries nowadays. Our starting rotation I don't know, like, we're getting a lot of flack for our starting rotation. And you know what? I'm okay if our guys go 3-4 innings, give up a couple runs, and hand the
Yeah,
ball over. Yeah, you go
the
4.
bullpen's solid enough, and you know what? Again, we're deep. We're deep. There's guys that can step in. Like if Mats can come in and do what he's doing right now, the guy's like 2-0. He's got I know it's the preseason, whatever, but his ERA is sub 1.
Yeah,
Like
he's doing
he's looking
great.
good, man. Robbie Ray's looking pretty good too. Like if these guys can even just show up and be like a fraction of what they used to be, we're laughing, man. We're in the driver's seat.
And Matt's he will be in the starting rotation for sure. But
Oh
like
yeah,
I
no
said,
doubt.
the majors have changed so much. Let's say your starter goes and he's just doesn't look quite that great. You know what? Let's pull him after 2-3 innings if he's given up 3 runs. Yeah, he gets an ERA of 9, but you're only down by 3 runs. That's considering that your team hasn't scored any for you, and we all know what our offense can do. We're going to see big games this year out of this offense. It's
Bet
exciting.
your overs, kids.
That's going to be let's monitor that stat for the Jays overs for sure. It'll be easy to keep track of. Absolutely, our pitching
Betting them every
is
game.
not going to be the greatest, but our offense is just lethal for sure.
And now hopefully we don't like. I'm hoping that these injuries are like, let's get them out of the way now, because this is a rough start, man. Like,
Well,
let's touch on that a little bit.
And everyone, when we're talking about injuries, we're talking about Robbie Ray and George Springer. Obviously, Springer, I think he's going to miss
Pearson.
the first. Well,
maybe
Pearson's
Biggio now. Like it's
no. Okay, I'm going to go slowly through them. First, we're going to start off with George Springer. Springer,
Yeah.
I think he may miss the first series, maybe the first week. We're okay with that. We'll get by it. We're still figuring out our identity and stuff. We'll probably be 3-3, 3-4 after the first week.
Come on.
Hopefully not. Hopefully 5-2, but we'll see.
Hey,
Um,
that's better.
the next injury is Robbie Ray, which is a little, and for those that don't know about Robbie Ray, he fell down the stairs holding his kid. Kid's
Yeah.
completely fine, but he's done some damage to his elbow, and they're kind of taking it easy. I've heard different reports. I believe it was the same injury, and maybe James, you can help me out. Someone missed 5 weeks out, 5 weeks last year with the same
It's
injury
the
on the
same
Jays.
thing.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was. You know what? Even if that does take us 5 weeks, we're 3 weeks into the major or into the season. I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to see Ray and Springer are going to be back the same time. I think at most they're going to miss first week. Ray's going to miss his first start. We're okay with that. Pearson is, I don't know. I believe they're really being cautious with Pearson.
Well, he's setback, right? He was
Yeah,
ready, and then they said he tore something, or he
the groin.
re-aggravated it, or groin. Yeah.
And so I think Pearson could have a huge role on this team if healthy.
Mhm. Yeah.
I just believe he's the one I'm not sure about. They're going to take it easy. He was supposed to start throwing, I believe, today or tomorrow. So we'll have to see about that for sure.
And I mean,
Bijou,
maybe this is a blessing because they've already said that they're like his innings are going to be limited this year regardless. So he'll be
and
coming in slow. They'll be really treading the waters lightly with him.
it's just crazy because they want him to be a starter. I really think, and if he's on an innings limit, let's put him in the bullpen. But no, they want to stretch him out. I get it. I'm just talking in my head.
It's a tough one, right? Like he wants to go, but
Yeah,
it'll be one of those things where he might be only going every 6 starts or something, right? Like or they're really going to tread lightly and only give him 4 or 5 innings. I don't know. It's all analytics now, right? Like we were talking about last time. It's such a hard.
it's crazy because they'll have the experts. Okay, he's going to skip a start now, and you're like, what? He's been good his last 2 starts, but just to give that arm a rest. So yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with him. So, and I could see with if Pearson and Ray miss the start of the season, which we're expecting, they have to have a bullpen game. And just hey, Tyler Chatwood, go out there. You're going to throw 2 innings, 3 innings. You're not going to see the lineup twice. But
Yeah, because
that's one guy.
they do have arms that can do it, right? Zoich, I think is like he could start. There's Thornton there too. Like there's a lot of guys. I haven't heard Barucki's name thrown around there in a while.
Well, he'll make the bullpen. But like I said, he's another guy that could step in. Another guy. You're going to see a lot of guys called up this year. Jacob Wegaspack. He's there's a few guys that'll be like he's probably going to go down the minors, but these guys probably are told, hey, keep that phone close to you because hey, within the first week of the season, be expecting a call. We have Ross Stripling, who's our 5th going to start in our rotation. There's another guy that has, he had stints with LA where he was did well. And, like I said, we don't need our guys to come up there and have sub 3 ERAs on this team.
No.
Give 4 ERAs decent. So like we're going to
team for sure.
So, and one injury that we didn't talk about is Craig Biggio, minor. He's back in the lineup tonight, actually. Okay. So, if we were losing Pearson, Biggio, and Springer and Ray,
oof. Yeah, that hurts. But again, this team's so deep, right? It's like it hurts, but we're still stacked. We're still in pretty good shape. The other pitcher you didn't talk about that looked absolutely phenomenal against the Yankees was Alex Manoah. Was it Manoah?
Yeah, and you know what? This is one of our top prospects. I forget what he's ranked, but
it's not crazy high. Considering it, but yeah, he was a high draft pick,
and if I recall, he pitched tonight and did well again from what I'm told.
Did he?
Which is nice to see. He's not going to crack the lineup though.
No, I thought they'd already sent him down.
Yeah, they did. Well, did they? I'm pretty sure he pitched tonight.
I don't know. Last I heard is that he was sent down, but I mean maybe with the injuries,
No,
maybe.
maybe I probably read a different article, for sure. But I definitely thought he had pitched tonight, but that's
The
okay.
other one is Simeon Wood, or is that his name? Fuck, I gotta get these
No,
names right.
Woods Richardson.
Yes,
So he would be down in the minors for sure.
and he looked good. He was only 20 years old. Something like
Yeah,
that.
he's yeah. And
So
here,
there's a lot of good young talent too. Like we're pretty stacked, man.
so just to update everyone, Matt started the game today. He went 5 1/3 inning, gave up 2 earned runs. Not the best of outings, but not bad. Like if he gets into
Not
the
bad.
6th inning, giving up 2 earned runs, we'll take that any day. And yeah,
Yeah,
Manoa did pitch the 7th and 8th innings
we
tonight.
did.
Two innings, no hits, no walks, and 4 Ks.
Man, the
So
kid's been lights out. Like, how do you? That's tough because he's been
he,
good.
he hasn't given up a run this postseason.
Faced the
Uh,
Yankees twice, I think.
so that's pretty cool. So
That's really good. That's it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of good young talent here, man. I don't know what these guys are gonna do. You got Groshans, you got Austin Martin, like these kids that they're not ready right now, but they're gonna be. And where are you gonna put them? Because your whole infield is super young and talented, and they're not going anywhere. Like,
well, I
what
think
do you?
you might see one of them turn into an outfielder, or like Biggio now. Biggio's slated to play third, short, outfield.
Yeah, he's all over the map first.
We have a few guys that could be like that, like Marcus Semien. Is that how you
Seaman,
say it? Yeah,
Simeon.
I think. What is it?
I think it's Simeon.
Simeon. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's another guy that could play second, short, third. So be interesting late in the games what they're doing, and we all know we're talking about the analytics too with the shifts and stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting for sure. So
Yeah, it's cool. Like you could move guys all over that. Like I like that. I like having the versatile. I mean, as much as you want to have a set lineup, it's again with analytics, like we're talking about all the shifts, everything else. To have these versatile guys where you can just pop them in and out of the lineup. This team is so deep. I'm really excited for. I mean, I know we're at least a year away, but a guy like Austin Martin that'll probably come in and this guy can play anywhere. His bat's phenomenal, fast. Like that kid's is going to be so good. He's a guy that I'm kind of scared might be thrown out there as trade bait when it comes down to it because we know. I'm telling you right now that the Jays are going to make a run this year, and trade deadline won't be. It won't be yard sale time. It'll be how are we going to bulk up this team and what do we need? So there's going to be some of these guys that are going to be on the move. There's no doubt about it.
yeah, absolutely. It'll be an interesting year for sure. I just hope that they can get into back to playing games back here for sure. So
Yeah, that'd be nice.
we'll see though for sure. So
Cool. What else, man? Anything else that you're down to talk about here?
well, I this is totally random. We haven't talked much NFL,
No.
but I do want to just put out the free agency in the NFL is crazy. For everyone that doesn't know, I really love my NFL pools and NFL Sunday. There's nothing better than that for sure. But I want to put out there how great of a signing it was for the Raiders to sign Andy Dalton. Okay, totally random, 10 million for the year. It was just a great signing. And we can talk more about it once we get closer to the season. Few other signings that I want to talk about that just happened is like Will Fuller, who used to play for the Texans, signing with the Dolphins, I believe today. Love that signing, for them for sure. So I'm still wanting the Bills to do something big, but we'll wait and see.
Yes. But we haven't lost anyone significant, right? There's been a couple of guys I think that might have left, but the core is there.
You know what? Talking about
She's on Kijiji. Buying or selling? I can't see.
I got an ad popping up here for Kijiji or something here.
What was that?
Yeah, that was interesting there on NFL. It was Kijiji ad came up. So I was just trying to look to see who Buffalo had signed. I forgot who they signed, but Mitchell Trubisky, 1 year, $2.5 million. Like,
that's a good signing.
I got to say, what a great signing, because the way Josh Allen plays, he definitely will get hurt and miss 1 or 2 games. And Trubisky, who's, looking to kind of, didn't play up to the hype in Chicago, gets the opportunity in Buffalo. And I think it's great. And $2.5 million. So I love that deal for sure. But yeah, it's going to be fun times. And we don't have to talk much about NFL.
Now you brought it up, we might as well touch on it. I know that you cards, right? You're putting your stock in the cards, which is I think a really good move. I think Arizona's going to be really JJ Watt, man. He's like, that dude he deserves some playoff success. Get that guy a ring. And that team's going to be solid. They don't have too many holes there.
The thing I like about the Cardinals the Cardinals is like you said, they're just so versatile. But they got to think of JJ Watt. This guy isn't, in his prime anymore. He's still solid. I believe he played it was crazy, the high percentage of snaps he played last year. But you know what? They got to limit that this year and, put him in on, just passing downs, even if they get him down to 70% of the downs, he's just that much more refreshed. So I hope they do that. And who did Arizona sign? I want to say they signed AJ Green, and I could be totally off with that, but I really think they did. So
that'd be huge. Huh. I want to get back to this Andy Dalton thing. I didn't know that, so I'm not paying enough attention to NFL right now. Right now, my focus is on MLB. I know it's a weird time, with the NBA being hot and NHL where it's at, but I don't know. I'm just super stoked about the Jays, and I'm really most of my focus is there. NFL is just too far away from me from now, it's really not that far, which is kind of nuts to think about. But Andy Dalton, that's an interesting one.
Well, and the interesting part is they've already named him the starter.
Did they?
Yeah, and they've, a lot of fans were thinking that there'd be some, competition coming into training camp, but no, they named him the starter. 1 year, $10 million. So, which is
that's a head scratcher to me then. You think there'd be a nice little battle for that. I mean, there's going to be still, but to name him the starter already, that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And I did just double check while we were chatting here. AJ Green did sign with Arizona for $6 million. And
wow, 1 year? All these 1 year deals?
Yeah, just one year deal. Crazy. And the one deal, Andy Dalton's deal, I believe had an additional $3 million in incentives if they were reached, obviously. So, yeah,
the Red Rocket getting the start.
So talking about, I want to say it was Oakland, and like I said, I really think it was Oakland. They signed Kenyon Drake, where they already have Josh Jacobs, and I believe they gave him, $14.5 million over 2 years. So it's crazy that they signed Kenyon Drake. So you're going to give up to a max of $7 million, $7.25 million a year when you already have Josh Jacobs, who's probably one of the top 5 running backs in the league. I don't know, some interesting things, happening over there for sure. So,
and they're no longer in Oakland, right?
Oh yeah, Las Vegas. That's right. I keep referring to them as Oakland.
It's hard not to. So, the Oakland Raiders, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
Vegas, it's hard to even say. It's weird. But yeah, Vegas, man, coming up with some crazy stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah, and,
that'll be interesting.
we can talk more NFL as we get closer for sure, because there's still lots to happen. Draft hasn't happened. Is Trevor Lawrence going number 1 overall? Probably. So, but yeah.
Yeah, the NFL draft is always fun to me. There's always some like really cool things happening. There's some neat trades. There's people working their way up the draft board. And, NFL draft is a fun day. But on another note, R.I.P. Walter Gretzky. I don't know if we had an episode or mentioned that before, but if we did, we did need to be mentioned again. Just like just a all-time hockey man,
hockey dad. Absolutely. Yeah. So definitely well known around, even for people that didn't even follow hockey. They've heard of Walter. So
yeah, and just a fantastic human too. Just like a great guy. Just always there for people. Always there to chat. Like really cool dude. So absolutely. It's a tough loss for the Gretzky family for sure, and the whole hockey world in general. But thought I'd mention that. Yeah,
no, I don't think. It had happened after our last episode for sure. So
well, on that note, I don't know. Anything else that you want to hit at? We pretty much hit all the major sports. I'm not. One thing that I'm never going to get involved in. I'm not going to say never. I was going to say never going to talk about soccer, but I'm sure World Cup will come around and we'll have some shit to talk about there.
Yeah, exactly. But go take. I was going to throw out a team name, but I struggled with it. So I can't even talk
Holland.
about it.
Go jump on Holland's bus.
All right, let's do it. So, but
you know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just gonna say that I mentioned already, and I took it early, the Vladdy Guerrero Jr. MVP thing, and everybody's shaking their heads at me. Look at this sumbitch. Look at him crushing the ball right now. Dude's hitting over 500, and I know y'all can say whatever. It's spring training. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're facing. You're hitting over 500. That's impressive.
It's good that he is. Let's see if that confidence carries over into the regular season. So it would
one
be.
Thing. He's saying he feels fantastic. He says he's feeling like he did in 2018. 2018, the guy hit 381. So we'll see what happens here.
And I just don't even know. I know Josh just commented and said, "Is Osuna back in baseball?" And I really don't know if he is.
I think he is. I've heard that name pop up a bunch. I heard him linked to the Jays, which would just let's not be silly on that. I don't think, but I think he is. Well, you're the computer whiz checking your stuff out. You're not getting anything.
I don't think he is right now. To be quite honest, I believe Houston cut ties with him, and I don't think he's playing.
Modern day Kenny Powers, back in Mexico doing his thing.
Yeah,
the real life Kenny Powers.
I'm going to throw this out there just because we brought up Osuna, and Josh is still saying he's Astros, so he probably did a quick search.
Yeah. I thought it was, but
the one name, or I'm going to throw out a couple names that I think the Jays should be looking at signing. Shane Green and David Robertson, both back end guys. I could see them looking at one of these options for sure. It'd be nice. So
are they both still free agents?
Yeah, I believe so. So
hey, here's a name. Where'd this guy go? And I just love him, and I want to see him somewhere. Yasiel Puig.
He went to Cincinnati, and then did he go
sign somewhere?
Then he went to Minnesota. Not? No, he was in Cincinnati, I believe.
He was in Cincy, and then he got traded. Oh, that was 2 years ago. Yeah, he's a beast. But so is he signed somewhere right now?
Again, I don't know.
Folks, if you're watching, this is just how we roll. We're just seat of our pants. Just seems interesting. Let's look it up now.
Well, I thought he signed somewhere, but it's not popping up here right away. So
I don't think he did. I think he's still, like, I mean, he's a complete loose cannon. He's a crapshoot. The dude's good though, like, but he's one of those guys that I think he'd be trouble in your change room. Like, I think you'd be worried about him just like really messing up chemistry. So much. I mean, that's why he's been bounced around all over. I saw that game where where there was that brawl. I was at that game, and he got traded mid game. It was so weird. It's the weirdest thing I ever seen in my life. That game was nuts.
That'll be a trivia question. Who's the player to start an MLB brawl and get traded mid game?
Mid brawl.
Like
it was so weird.
Yeah, I remember you sending me messages from that game for sure. So that was interesting for sure. So,
weirdest thing I ever seen. When the brawl started, right before it started, the pitcher that came in, never seen this in my life. He just grabbed the ball, ran to the mound, just like his warm-up pitches were in the mesh, and then he plunked the first batter he faced. It was ridiculous. Just
that'd be awesome to watch all again, though. Just if they had to, it'd be tough to find footage, but that's something for you to do.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll stream it on here next time. See if we can get ourselves in some trouble. Sure. Cool. Well, Josh, any questions, or gonna call her a night? You got anything else? Oh, you got to get some picks in. You got to get some picks.
Well, last time I went 1-1, I had Charlotte -2.5 that came through. They won by 6. I went with the dog in the Dallas Mavericks. It was a slight dog. They ended up losing by 9. I am going to, just because I'm that guy, I'm going to take over in the Leafs game Saturday night. I expect a high-scoring game. They're facing, I believe they will not shut out Edmonton again. I just think McDavid and Draisaitl are just too good. They almost shut them out. Like 3 games. Remember that? That was crazy, man. They gave up 1 goal in 3 games to Edmonton. And we played 3 different goalies, did we not? So
I'm pretty sure.
So that would have been interesting for sure. But yeah, taking over for sure in the Leafs game Saturday night.
Interesting.
6-6.
Is that the Vader's lock?
No, we don't say that word.
That's a curse.
So,
all right, your gold, is that your gold pick?
That's the gold for sure.
I like that you went to the Saturday night. I'm just taking a look here. I don't know. The over is an interesting one because Campbell's in there. I'm liking what's happening. I'm liking the way they're playing in front of him. But it should be you're hoping that it's a nice old-fashioned shootout between those guys, which we haven't seen a Leafs and Oilers game be a nice big 7-6 or some kind of craziness. So maybe we're due. I think you might be over in the first period next game. So I'll keep a good eye on that one. I kind of like that pick, Matty. There's some good games.
Went to go cut you off there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But the one thing we didn't talk about is how crazy has the madness been? Like,
oh, dude, did you not see? We were talking a little bit about it tonight. I haven't seen a thing. I didn't even know what was going on. I'm leading our pool, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw that. Don't worry,
did you look at my picks? I'm pretty solid.
Yeah, they really were.
Let's go orange.
Yeah, like it's just bizarre. And let's talk about the one game where your star point guard has the flu and you guys can't play and the other team advances by default. Like,
I didn't even know that.
That's the times we're in. I forget. I think it was like Oregon or something, which the favorite ended up moving on because the point guard on the other team was sick, and which is unfortunate. And we have to be, I get it, being protective with everything going on in COVID. But can you imagine, like, you play your whole lives for this? Like, you want to be in the madness. Someone gets sick, and you got to be causcious. The other team moves on.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking.
And
that almost made me sick.
We had which number 1 seeds have been eliminated? Illinois is gone.
There's a couple, I think, right?
Yeah, well, 2 are gone. But Gonzaga was like a pretty big favorite to win this. They must be huge favorite right now.
I think so. Michigan's still kicking too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I really
But
think
Gonzaga's probably got a, yeah, it'd be interesting to look at those odds. I bet you they're not paying too great.
no. Uh, I, I'd be shocked if you're even doubling your money right now, to be quite honest. Well, you
Yeah,
probably
they're in pretty good shape, I'd say. But there's a couple huge dogs left too, eh?
Oh,
Couple
I love
couple
Cinderella
big
stories.
dogs in the fight.
Oh, let's talk about it. I don't know if you saw it, James. I don't even know how to say their name. Help me out here.
Uh,
Loyola.
yeah, let's just call them Lola. Loyola, yeah, whatever.
I
I know
gotta
what you're
learn.
talking about.
But that's
Like a
such a
15
cool.
seed.
But they got it, like that grandma that cheers them on. Good for her for going out. She's like rooting them on. But I forget when it was this year. A guy put $60 on them to win it all, and if I recall, it was paying 90,000 on $60. Well, he sold his ticket. I don't know what at point for $500. Um, Now it's still
Such a
bizarre.
long shot.
Still, but he's probably okay. My $60 into 500. This is good.
Yeah,
But
yeah, big win there.
yeah, I'll find it and try and send it to you for sure. But
I'm
yeah,
surprised that the odds weren't higher, to be honest.
I don't know when this. It was before the madness, I believe, because the
Wow.
guy cashed out as well, right? So, but yeah, maybe we'll have some more madness talk next time for sure.
Definitely. I gotta get into it, man. I was like just lost. I haven't seen anything yet from it. So I'm gonna pay some more attention now. I'm winning the pool, so I'm gonna be a little more invested. Some good bucks there. I've been doing
Lots
pretty
of
good in that little group of the little gambling group we got going on there. I've been on a nice little run.
yeah. We'll do our Saturday tradition. My picks last week were really awesome. I was like, I'm not into this. Give me all
You
the home
fall
team.
asleep? What happened?
No,
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
like,
they'll take all the home teams.
so we'll see. Maybe I'll do visitors
Good,
this week.
good strategy.
But yeah, no, this is fun, James. Throw out some random stuff, and just let everyone know we got some new things planned. We don't know how we're going to implement them, but it's always fun. Like we're almost up to an hour right now of just
Yeah,
talking. This is what we do best. So
yeah, it's
Josh, I
fun.
see you're commenting.
Happy birthday, Bill Barocco and Ken Reggett.
That's awesome. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to do sports birthdays on the episodes. Okay,
Do
that's
it.
what new thing. I really appreciate that, Josh. And then that is awesome. We're going to post them up here, Josh. If you're listening, every time you got to do a quick Google search of which sports
Get us some
celebrity
birthdays.
athlete's birthday it is. Okay, new
Oh,
thing.
like Kyle Lowry, we should be throwing balloons
Yeah,
up for him. We did
yeah.
mention it, so
If you have an iPhone and you say congratulations, balloons will come up. So we should figure out that special feature on here. So
it's got to be somewhere.
well,
Nice.
I don't have much to say. Looks like there's a few games happening again that are just finishing up. But yeah, I don't have much else to say, James. So
Yeah, no, that was a solid, man. Let's cap her at just about an hour. Josh, thank you. Always, number one fan. Always tuning in live. I'm glad we can get the comments up and make this work this time. Now we know we're getting a little better. We're getting the hang of this thing. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Get that YouTube, get those likes and subscribes and whatever not else. That was barely English. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back within a week for sure. Let's plan for maybe a little Sunday or Monday chat and make her happen.
all right, sounds good. Take care, everyone.
Everyone have a great night, and Maddie will chat soon. See you, boys.